Then it's David Starr and Kurt Busch. Busch lost a motor in qualifying. That's why he's on the provisional list. Let's go back, take another look. What happened?
Oh, we see the Kurt Busch get turned around when Bobby Hamilton backed off. Joe Ruttman ran in the back of him. Now watch this. These trucks almost get by, but Randy Renfro just gets clipped.
That's Randy Tolsma and also Marty Houston wrapped up in that. Don't know how much damage they had on their trucks. Let's go on board with Bobby Hamilton.
We're going to see Kurt Busch get turned sideways. And here's Hamilton. Watch Renfro. About right here. Oh, man.
Kurt Busch in his first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race barely made it through and made a nice save. He's still on the race course. Oh,
wow. I thought Renfro was going in for in down the front stretch.
That truck came very close to going over, Benny. But one thing that is promising with all the spinning, those trucks, that truck got up in the air from contact, but they are staying on the ground. And that was something that everybody wondered about aerodynamically when they started to spin around. Would the truck stay on the ground? And with all the spins that we've seen, they have.
Now there is Kurt Busch, and he made a nice recovery. And this young lad in his rookie season, the Southwest Tour champion last year, he has had a very eventful week. And let's go back to first practice, BP. He got in somebody else's oil.
Yes, the 86 Mike Cope had an engine problem going down in turn one, and Kurt Busch turns through it, and he gets in the oil and spins, and man, that thing snaps around and right in the wall. So that is the truck that he's using today, is their Homestead truck for next week. And he about wrecked it a moment ago.
And he had a tough time in qualifying, blew the motor, took a provisional, so he started in the back of the field and made the nice recovery after getting a slight tap, we think, from behind that sent him down into the grass infield area here at Daytona International Speedway. And right now, the number 99 shown in third position, right behind his Killer Bee teammate, Greg Biffle.
He was running second or third when all this crashing started, so he didn't lose too much going down through the grass, did he, Ray?
No, he's doing a great job. You know, as a rookie, they make him drive in oil. Now they're making him drive on the grass, and he's keeping that truck up front.
All these trucks decided to pit now.
Pits are open. Terry Cook, the race leader, will bring it in. We've had a total of 7 different leaders, 14 lead changes. 55 miles an hour is the pit lane speed. I know it looks a lot slower when you're looking on at home on screen. Remember, under caution, you can only change 2 tires. Dave, you're with Randy Tolsma.
All right, we're racing, Marty.
Yes, we are. We're back to green flag racing. Jimmy Kitchen stayed out. He is the race leader right now. That's Kurt Busch and Greg Biffle right behind him. Jimmy Hensley was trying to get his lap back. It's not going to happen. Here comes the 60 on the outside trying to hook up into this draft as well. That's Andy Houston. And look at Steve Grissom in the 43. Despite the damage, he has moved himself into 5th.
And that's Kenny Martin in the 98 truck, the red truck in the lead draft, currently running in the 9th position.
Jimmy Kitchens in his first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race, still holding on to the lead. Look at the battle.
And with Grissom's truck, they've been working on that every pit stop, getting that body a little bit better, a little bit better. Now he's got some help back there with Dennis Setzer and another Dodge. He might push him to the front.
Biffle loose.
Gets a big wiggle off turn 2.
Nice save by Greg. And that's enough to get your heart pounding.
And Jimmy Kitchens hanging on in that 42 truck.
I don't know for how long. Here comes Steve Grissom, and he's got Setzer as a drafting partner. We're on board with Biffle. Heading for the tri-oval.
Here, Biffle will have to back off as they close up on these trucks in front of them.
There you go. So much for all the money we spent on those Winston Cup bodies, Benny.
Exactly. The 43 truck, the Steve Grissom truck, beat all the pieces, and here he goes for the lead and takes it.
Guys, we have just tied a record, 17 lead changes. We still have 56 laps to go. I think I can guarantee we're going to break it.
And Mike Wallace now working his way back to the front as Jimmy Kitchens pulls over right in front of him.
Kitchens drifts up a little higher. Can Wallace maintain the momentum? Don't think so. Lyndon Amick right behind him. This time by 55 laps to go. All this action's going on out on the racetrack. The Dodge is trying to hook up and pull away. Another of the Dodge contingent is out of this race. Randy Renfro almost went upside down, Dave Burns.
That's right, Marty. And he said the doctor just told him he was about as normal as when he came in there. But, Randy, you almost had a wild ride. What was it like?
Well, I came off 4 and I saw smoke, and when I tried to go to the outside, but it was somebody out there, so I couldn't get up. And next thing I was trying to keep hitting him in the door.
Okay, and you almost went over. Did you see the grass?
I saw the grass and I smelled the grass, so I was pretty close. I'd like to thank Dodge, Todd Myers, all this TKO crowd. They've done a heck of a job. I was playing, buddy. I was playing waiting to the end. I don't want to sound too confident, but I was rolling back and forth and playing with the gas, just waiting to the end, because I can suck up good.
All right, Mike Wallace, Marty, sounds like he's sucking up good, too.
Has just moved back into the lead, so we've set a new record with 18 lead changes. We've tied the record almost. Well, wait a minute, we need one more. We have 10 different drivers that have led. The record is 11, set back in California in 1999 in that great race. On board with Mike Wallace, our current leader. There's the top 5 at the Daytona 250. It could change before we come back. See you then.
And here comes Dennis Setzer down on the inside, and that #1 Mopar does. Goes by Lindenamic, moves into about the 5th or 6th spot.
Drifts back right in front of Kurt Busch. We're on board with Jeffrey Bodine.
Just staying up high going in the corner. He's not following the truck in front of him. Don't know what's going on there.
Whoa! Oh, look out! We got trouble. This is going to hurt.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Yep.
Keep your fingers crossed. Now that we know that everybody is A-OK and going to make recoveries, we're going to take you through the complete sequence of what happened in this 10-truck pileup, starting with the blimp.
And there about the 6th place, we see Lindenamic in the green truck. He goes down. Kurt Busch makes contact with the 46, and along comes Jeffrey Bodine and climbs an outside retaining wall and down the racetrack he goes. Now here comes the 90. Another replay. Watch this and listen. Man. Let's check Jeffrey Bodine's onboard camera. The lineup's on board. And listen. And away it goes. One more angle.
But then as you can see, when that truck goes up in the catch fence, that's what starts it tumbling. And watch as the motor will go across the racetrack. There goes the motor tumbling down along the racetrack.
So let's take a full field rundown, show you everybody who's currently out on the racetrack. It is Andy Houston, followed by Mike Wallace, Greg Biffle, his teammate Kurt Busch.
And finally, Terry Cook wisely pulls behind the 60 truck of Andy Houston and says, look, we better get hooked up and try to draft and catch all these Fords in front of that Ford, that number 98. In 4th place is Kenny Martin out of Cleveland, Ohio.
His first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race. We're on board with 2nd place, Greg Biffle. This would be just an incredible finish if Kenny Martin can even stay in that top 5 group.
If he can just hang there. He and his brothers have purchased this equipment from Liberty Racing. Last year, this vehicle was driven by Kevin Harvick. So it's good equipment, and Kenny is doing a fantastic job today.
From Broadview Heights, Ohio, qualified 15th, dropped back early, now finds himself in the heat of the battle. A unique bird's-eye perspective. Today's race brought to you by the Bud One Airship and Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Great shots, guys, and that is the lead pack here at the Daytona 250. As the laps begin to wind down, look out, Kurt Busch. He gets out of the draft. He may lose a spot or two. It's Mike Wallace in front of Greg Biffle. A report from Amy East. Biffle may be seeing the temperature soaring on his Granger Ford. And there is Andy Houston in 3rd. 4th place is the 99 of Kurt Busch. Dave, what's going on in the Roush camp? They've got the best numbers out there right now.
We're going to ask the 99 crew chief, that is Matt Chambers. He ran all the way down pit lane to talk to Randy Goss, crew chief of the 50. What did you guys decide to do, if anything?
Well, next time battery score's running really good right now. We're real happy with Kurt Busch. He's a great driver. Real excited about the whole deal. And we're going to try to work with the 50, come in together. I'm not going to say when, but we're going to try to work together and come in with them so we can stay together.
For the final pit stop?
Yeah, for the final pit stop.
When do you expect to make that?
Probably within the next 10 or 15 laps.
Okay, as they run side by side, guys, remember Kurt Busch has had a real adventurous weekend so far. He wrecked the truck in practice. They lost a motor in qualifying. They're just happy to be out there still running in the lead pack.
And he's doing very fine right now. Setzer right at the tail end of the lead lap. He wants to stay in front of Mike Wallace and Andy Houston, and the other two, the Biffle and Busch trucks, that are right behind him. He would get that lap back if a caution flag would come out, put him back on the lead lap.
And there are only 10 trucks on the lead lap, so that would put him in a very competitive position.
Looking on board with Greg Biffle. Boy, going past the slower traffic.
Man, that was so scary when you look out the tailgate of Biffle's truck, Granger truck.
Coming through the tri-oval again. Here comes Biffle in the 50. Setzer down low. We talked about it several hours ago, Ray, but if you stay down low, it eats up the tires.
Yeah, it eats up the tires, and there are times when it can kill momentum.
Last lap speed's 187 and change. These guys are doing some serious racing.
And we see that Kenny Martin in that fifth place truck has lost a lap, has lost a draft, and running by himself. He's 6-7 miles per hour slower than these trucks hooked up together.
Jack Roush on the stopwatches as always. He's got two trucks in very good condition right now as we get to the closing laps. Now, slower traffic, and here comes a freight train. Look out. Get out of the way. That's Neuenberger. He does stay down low, and everybody's going to get by cleanly. We're at Daytona International Speedway. If you've just tuned in, the race leader is the second truck in line there, the number 2 Team ASE Ford. That is Mike Wallace with the Granger Ford. Greg Biffle right behind him. This has been the kind of racing that we've had all afternoon, except for the 2-hour and 24-minute red flag period. We've had 27 lead changes. It's got a little help. There's his drafting buddy, Andy Houston. It's a Dodge and Chevy combo, but right now Houston needs all the help he can get because he's battling 3 Fords.
That Dodge and Chevy seem to work really well together. That could play a part at the end, even if they decide that they can fit together. That Mopar might help that Chevy.
And the 3 trucks you're seeing, the 2 trucks, Wallace and Biffle and Kurt Busch, they all changed 4 tires. Now then, maybe the 2 50-99 fuel only, Ray?
Oh, Benny, I don't think so. I think with only, what have we got, eight trucks on the lead lap, I believe that they'll come and put 2 right side tires on and fuel unless they've used up their quota of tires. Right now, you'd want to get some cool tires on that thing. Going to have about probably 16 laps to go to the end.
Well, they come down pit lane at 55 miles an hour, and Dave Burns is in Kurt Busch's pit.
They're going to put on right sides, Marty. Jason Muser on the rear and Ken Pillsbury on the front. Getting the tires back on the car. No adjustments, according to Matt Chambers, the crew chief. And Kurt Busch will take on a full load of fuel. Amy East.
There is Kurt Busch. Dave, what's the latest on this young rookie who's looking good?
Marty, he had about a 15-second longer pit stop than he wanted to. That's because a NASCAR official was standing right in front of his truck. Wouldn't let him go anywhere. The guys, in their eagerness to put on those 2 right side sticker tires, came off the wall too soon.
Oops.
Oops. I tell you one thing, I have really been impressed with the job that Kurt Busch has done. This is a 21-year-old kid from the Southwest Series. I know he has raced at Phoenix, and I guess he might have raced at California, but he's never seen a racetrack like this before, and I am really impressed with the job he's done today.
Me too, Benny. Pick your first race to race at Daytona Speedway. That's a pretty tough deal.
McDonald shown officially in 5th position. Biffle. Then it's Martin. There's Busch in the 99, and these guys got to get in line or they're just going to lose contact for the rest of this race.
3 wide in 3. I'm telling you, they don't fit too good.
Hang on, baby. Here we go.
They're still coming through the corner 3 wide.
Well, we already know it won't work through the tri-oval, guys. Somebody's got to lift. Here we go.
And it's Kenny Martin. No! Busch and Biffle make contact, and Biffle holes in the wall.
So Busch can't hold on, slides up into Biffle. Greg has got damage to the right side of the Granger Ford and is slowing.
Greg did a great job hanging on to that truck.
Could have been wicked. Greg Biffle, as you said, Ray, did a miraculous job holding the Granger Ford off the wall. Let's go back and show you what happened to Greg Biffle.
Once again, 3 wide just does not work too good. And there we see that Kurt Busch moved up because a truck inside of him. And once again, there was a truck, Greg Biffle on the outside, and he smacked the wall.
This time by 4 laps to go. You're down to 10 miles of racing.
Check out Kenny Martin up in 4th place. Alongside comes Kurt Busch. And as I said, Central's going to move over and let these guys go.
Down the back straightaway. So now your first 5 trucks are all for position on the racetrack. The white flag is out. It's Mike Wallace, Andy Houston. Then it's Kurt Busch in 3rd. Terry Cook in 4th. They're through 1. Andy Houston has opened up about 3 truck lengths.
And he's got 2 trucks racing side by side behind him. If they can get in line, they might catch him, but they can't get in line. No one wants to give up that position.
We talked about your name goes on the trophy. You'll be the first winner, the only guy who can ever make that claim. It happened here for Lee Petty. It happened here for Dan Gurney. Who's it going to happen for? We've got 2 turns remaining. Will it be Andy Houston, Mike Wallace, Kurt Busch, rookie Kenny Martin in his first ever truck race? Oh, Andy Houston way low.
He almost crashed coming up for me. Here comes Mike Wallace in the lead.
Mike Wallace, 2 years in a row, is going to win the first race of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and the inaugural Daytona 250. Let's take a look at the final results and take a look as we go through the top 5. Terry Cook ended up in 4th, and both Busch in 2nd and Martin in 5th in their first ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races.